Running a Fever, episode 87. I'm going to talk about the importance of being aware of others, having an attitude of abundance, and assuming goodwill. We're going to talk about the great game of baseball. I love my life. I don't care who knows it. Love my life so much. And I'm going to tell you why later. If you love your life, well, you're going to find a lot of familiar emotions here. My name's Michael Davis. I've lost over 70 pounds, 8 inches off my waist, lowered my blood pressure, and just improved my overall attitude, all at the age of 52. And I love my life so much that I want to make it last as long as possible. And if you feel the same way, then come along on the journey. If you don't, come along anyway, because you might find a way to love your life that much. Sometimes you have to start something before you realize why you're doing it. Really, it kind of happened here. I started a podcast and realized, well, I need to have something to talk about. So I'll go out and exercise and I'll talk about that. And I'll just talk about it, and then as things happen, I'll talk about them, and worked out that really started improving my health and improving my overall attitude about life. God has blessed me in so many ways, and I want to talk a little bit about abundance today. But first, diet report. Diet department. So I just noticed this morning that I'm actually 10 pounds lower in weight than my end of Biggest Loser contest after rehydrating weight. Of 212, I'm now 202 as of this morning, 202 pounds. Really wanting to break that 200 pound barrier. I'm already lighter than I've been in 25 years. And, I hope to continue to build muscle even though I'm losing weight. And my new target weight is 174 pounds. 100 pounds total lost in the year 2018. And that's what I'm working towards. So how am I doing that? Well, I'm kind of reverting to the pre-maintenance diet. I was already working on cutting things down at that time. It's still hard to lose weight because my metabolism was so low. And that's what I'm really concerned about here. So my target has been 1,800 calories a day. But I think if I average that, if I have 2,600 one day, 1,600 the next day, 2,000 one day, 1,300 one day. If it averages out and I'm losing 1 or 2 pounds a week, that is what I'm going for. Not going for rapid weight loss, not going for extreme caloric deficit. Going for moderation, but still enough to get me there and reach my goal. So I'm eating a lot of the same foods that I usually eat. And I supplement on days that I work out, like today. So that goes into my calorie count, of course. Everything I consume goes into the calorie count. I want to count it no matter what. And so today, today I had pre-workout whey shake. That's from Legion Athletics. Kind of a premium brand. I don't know if I'm going to stick with them. but I got a bunch of their stuff, so I'm gonna try it out. I kind of like it. I mean, the ingredients are all the same. It's not too hard to figure out. Whey. There's a certain kind of whey isolate or something like that. But, you know, they all have it. Some of them have some other stuff. Some of them have sugar. You gotta be careful with calories. This one's only 100 calories. I add a 30 calorie almond milk, unsweetened, to it as the liquid. A couple ice cubes in my little mini blender from Hamilton Beach, and that is my shake. Tastes good, good mouthfeel. It's not grainy or anything, but it is kind of expensive. So I probably will wind up trying out some other brands. After the workout, I've got something, you know, and I've tried a couple of brands, and this is their, you know, Legion Athletics standard after workout. Of course, they recommend whey as well, but creatine is the main ingredient in their after workout shake. I have that with juice. And then on workout days at night, I'll have a casein shake. This is from Optimal Nutrition, so it's fairly, you can find those in, you know, Optimal Nutrition you can find in your grocery store. I don't find the casein in my grocery store, so I have to order it online from GNC. You'd think GNC wouldn't have the best price, but they actually did. I mean, just to always buy the same brand. Why not buy the cheapest one, right? And that one's about 140 calories. Still having a typical breakfast now. I'm not, you know, when I got on the maintenance diet and I was trying to get my calories up, doing that metabolism project, I added a few things to my morning and, you know, to my diet in general, like fruit, little grape nuts in my yogurt, a little fruit with my oatmeal. I even experimented with some flavored oatmeal. Just too sweet. It's got sugar in it, so that didn't work. But so what I've done now that I'm cutting, I've gone back to the old plain oatmeal, maybe a little bit of Smart Balance in there, and Splenda, and that's what I have for breakfast. Still doing my snacks as well. Started eating Greek yogurt. I found a light Greek yogurt. I don't know, free and light or something, I can't remember. But it's 80 calories, the same as my other sort of diet yogurt that I was eating. And tastes a little different. It's got a little more flavor to it and more protein. And it costs twice as much. So that's a common one. And I'm also still using the whey bars from Gatorade. I'll eat half one of those. It's a big bar, so half is good enough. Also have a hydrator now. I don't know if I had that before, but I've dried apples and bananas are the ones that work the best. So I've been drying those, and I'll take them, and that'll be a snack. An apple is the same amount of calories as a fully hydrated apple, so 95 calories for that. Like 130 or something for a banana. But natural food. Natural food. So those are good snacks. Jerky, still on my diet. I can actually make jerky with a dehydrator. So looking forward to doing that at some point. No preservatives. Except for, I guess, whatever's in the meat I get. I keep trying to make friends with a hunter so I can get some venison, but I haven't been able to do that yet. People value their food quite a bit around here. They don't just give it away. So, you know, and I might not have chips with my tacos. I may go down to 5 or, you know, go down to 3 or 4 tacos instead of, you know, 5 or something and some chips. Going back to turkey chili instead of chicken. turkey tacos instead of chicken. It's just like 10 calories difference or so. But all these little things add up. All these little things add up, and it's just as easy. Man, it's just as easy. I don't know why. It's a blessing from God. Blessing from God. Because, I mean, my old behaviors are kind of addictive. You know, they're kind of like addictive behaviors. You know, classic. See something, you got to have it. I don't feel that way anymore. You know, I can say no. And I don't, you know, I think, you know, one reason is that I eat all day long. So I'm not really hungry ever, almost. I mean, if I do skip, you know, if for some reason I don't have my snack and I don't, you know, lunch is a little late, you know, that stomach will start growling because it's expecting a meal. It doesn't expect a big meal, but it expects something, right? So it's always good to keep that stuff around. And a lot of it's just habit. You know, try saying no once. You know, next time you are at, you know, a restaurant where they bring around the very tempting dessert table, just say no. Just try it once. To say, you know, I'm going to say no here, and then whatever. Later, I may have something else. You know, and a lot of times that works because the craving will often go away. I mean, it's not in front of you anymore. You're not hungry because you just ate dinner. So try that. I don't know, it's working for me. I'm just grateful. I'm grateful. It's one of those blessings of God that makes me love my life. And I've shared with you everything that I've learned about cravings and that sort of thing. So as I learn more, then I will share those with you. I don't want it to be just, it works for me, it's not going to work for you. Or it might, you know, either it works or not. You know, I want to find reasons. I want to find a plan. That's what I want. I want this to work for everybody. And, you know, what if, you know, the magic stops? I'll know what steps to take. So if you get a good result, it's usually because of whatever you were doing. And that's what I look at, and I've shared the things that I'm doing. So that's how it's going. Back to the cutting diet, and still working out. Now, there's been some changes. You know, fitness department. As I said, the physical therapists and physical therapy assistants put me through it, you know. And so that was a pretty good workout, you know. And sometimes I would, actually most of the time, I would do a pre-workout shake, a post-workout shake, just like I was working out here or in the gym, in the regular gym, because it was a really good workout, you know. And I would ask for more weight, you know, because I want to be challenged. And they gave it to me. They let me go up in weight. So I've been doing that for a while. That's only twice a week. And honestly, I just haven't gotten out and walked. One of the reasons is my knee. Another reason is I've just been so busy. Social life's a little busier now. Good reason for that. But that's good. I got to find other ways. And, you know, this week, I went to the gym that I usually go to. And, you know, after the physical therapy gym, I'm realizing that there are some, you know, kind of deficiencies there. For example, I need a stationary bike. There are no stationary bikes there. Not a one. They have 10 treadmills, 10 standing ellipticals, 1 sitting elliptical, and one that's kind of like a bike, but it's got the hand things, and didn't work very well for me. So, I don't know. You know, you always kind of make a list of what you'll do with that big raise or bonus when it comes along. I may look at some other gyms. This one is very economical, but you know, the word expensive means you get the same thing for a higher price. If it's higher quality, It's not more expensive, it's the same value. Lower quality, it is more expensive, even if the price is low. So I've been doing that. This is the first time I've been out on a walk in quite a while. Last time I recorded was the 7th of July. That's over a month ago. And feels pretty good. I feel pretty good today. You know, stronger. I've been wanting to do this. I need it at this point in my life. Not just because I need to get in shape, but because, you know, I made this a habit. It feels good. It feels good. So now it's just a thing that feels good, and all those other things. Okay, thus endeth the fitness report.
On Thursday, I promise.
Attitude of abundance. How important this is. You know, I've talked about all the blessings that I have. And, you know, I mean, I've got a lot of problems. I'm not really rich. I'm not married. There are, you know, a lot of sort of what you might say deficiencies in my life. Maybe I've just learned to love life as it is. Learn to love life as it is, and the loving of that life will make your life better. What do I mean by an attitude of abundance? Well, I'm not talking about, you know, like Michael Jackson. Yeah, it cracks me up sometimes. Every time I'm typing my own name in as a text, the word Jackson comes up right after my name, because my first name is Michael. Michael Jackson was enormously successful. And he could go and so he you know, he knew that. And he went and he bought lots of stuff. You know, he had an amusement park for a home and a zoo. And I don't know if he had ever actually driven his own car in his life. He had all kinds of things. And he would, you know, the stories that I heard were he would go into stores and, you know, just point at things and buy them just for you know, no reason basically at all. Some of the buying decisions he made could have been considered really astute. Bought the entire Beatles catalog at one point. He wound up having to sell that or borrow it against it or something in order to pay his debts at one point. You know, it's really sad. So I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about just thinking you have a bunch of stuff. I'm talking about recognizing the truth of what you have and being thankful for that. One way to do that is to have contact with people who are less fortunate than you. In terms of, you know, material goods or other ways. You know, physically, I've talked about how I'm grateful when I get up in the morning that I can walk. Yeah, I got a bad knee, you know, corn on one foot, got back problems.
Why is this square so far? Because I'm a good kid. Your water's really cold. No, Cooper, stop.
But I can walk. Man, I can walk 5 miles at a time. Not everybody can do that. It's something to be grateful for. I have a wealth of friends. Don't have a lot of friends, a lot of close friends, but you know, it's kind of like you can have a wallet full of $1 bills, or the same amount of money in $10 or $20 bills. It's all about the quality. I have really good quality friendships, people I love, people that love me. A lot of love in my life. Got to reach out for that love. You got to give it away. That's what having an attitude of abundance is all about. Knowing that everybody has something to give. Everybody. You have something to give. Go out and give it. Have all your arms and legs and faculties. You can stand up maybe for a couple hours. Go help out at a food bank. That's when you'll find out what abundance is all about. And that, more than anything has changed my life. Really. Really. People ask me, why did you go so long being isolated and alone? Because I was hoarding my entire life. I didn't really want to give myself to anybody else. Adversity helps with this. It helps you to be thankful in the times when you're fortunate enough to have a job and friends and good health and good medical care and all those things that we talk about. What about the people who don't? What about the people who don't have anything that they can listen to this podcast on? How do we reach those people? Getting a little off topic, but that's what I'm talking about with an attitude of abundance. Can change your life, change mine. And well, that's why I think it's great. And also, people are good. People are really good. Even people that do what we might consider maybe most people would consider bad things with bad intentions. Most of those people think they're doing good. Philosophy would call that the apparent good. But people are basically good, and most people have that objective good, at least a piece of it. I like to think I have a piece of that, just like most people. And I'm trying to get more of that in my life, Like if I'm 10% good, I want to know how I can get 15. This goes along with an attitude of abundance. I was at a baseball game recently. I love baseball. And I was walking to the ticket booth, ready to get some tickets. And, probably would have paid, not insignificant amount of money, not a great amount of money, but I would have paid for them. And there were people there giving away free tickets. They stood there. Free tickets. And nobody was stopping to pick up the free tickets. And I almost walked by them. And something told me to turn around. And I still couldn't believe it. I said, really? Free? Yeah, free. I'm like, where are you sitting? As if, I think I was just trying to get more comfortable with taking something from these people and trying to understand that they didn't expect anything in return. Maybe they'd expected me to sit with them because really they had 4 tickets in line and used 2 of them. And they said, you'll be sitting right by us. Maybe I should have. Maybe we would have had a good time just talking the whole baseball game. But I sat kind of away from them to give myself more room. There was no obligation, really. I mean, those tickets were really free. And yet, nobody wanted to take them because they didn't believe it. They didn't believe there was that much good in someone, you know? I mean, they didn't have to give them away for free. You know, of course there's rules against scalpers, right? But if you're selling a cheaper ticket, you should be able to sell it, right? Honestly, if you're selling a ticket and somebody doesn't have to stand in line, well, that's an advantage right there, even if you're selling it for the same price. Speaking of baseball, I've talked about how I love baseball. And I don't know, if I didn't have to go to work and exercise and do all the things I do, I'd probably go to a lot of games. As it happens, I go to, 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 games a year. A lot of noise here today. It's been raining here for pretty much all week. So people are trying to get out and get some yard work done. I respect that. So in fact, I'm hopefully going to do some yard work when I get back. I got my front yard done earlier this week and finally may get to do the backyard. The front yard's already ready for mowing again. It's crazy. But with all that rain, sun like we have today, that's it. God's green earth expresses itself, literally. Look up the word express. Literally expressing. Baseball, America's pastime. What's so great about it? Really? I mean, it can go on for hours and hours. There's no time limit. That's one of the great things about it. It's just sort of relaxed pace. So, I mean, it's a good thing to go and do. With friends, and just you could sit there and just talk about whatever. Talk about life. You talk about what's going on. You talk about all the crazy antics that go on in minor league games. Like watching kids put their head on a bat and spin around 3 times and then try to walk. Whew, that's worth the price of admission right there. It's a very relaxing time. One of the reasons I like it. And the plays are, let's face it, the plays are routine. I mean, you pretty much know if the ball goes in a certain place, what's going to happen. But that's not always true. You really don't know exactly where it's going to go, and maybe there's different people playing all the time. Maybe it gets just outside of the reach of a guy. The batter tends to hit a little bit to the left, and shortstop doesn't know that, and maybe his arms are a little shorter than the average shortstop, and he doesn't get to it, or he gets to it, but he has to dive and jump in the air right after that and throw it to first base to get the out. Maybe it's a close call. Maybe it's a controversial call. And there's ritual to it. There's ritual in your life. Look for it. There's ritual to this. You stand up, sing the Star Spangled Banner, or at least stand up. Maybe you don't. Maybe you sit down and protest. There's an opportunity to do that. 7th inning stretch, you sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." I don't know who wrote that song, but it's probably been sung at every baseball game, 7th inning, break between home and away halves of the inning, the top and bottom of the inning, away and home, respectively, for maybe 100 years. I don't know, it's 2018, so 1918. Hey, 100 years ago, this October, my team, the Red Sox, won the World Series. How about that? 100 years ago. And they didn't win another one till 2004. Yeah. 86 years. I've never been to a game when they didn't play the Star Spangled Banner. They've been actually doing that since before it became the national anthem. You know, if you want to find out a lot about baseball, little facts like I just told you about the Star Spangled Banner, gotta watch the series by Ken Burns called Baseball, simply called Baseball. Ken has a place in his heart for the racial tension between blacks and whites in the United States. And so you'll see that as a recurring theme, but it's just got a lot of, as I'm saying this, I'm walking by the baseball field that I always walk by and snapped a picture, although, you know, this time of year it's just all the foliage is in full display. A few clouds in the sky. Just adds a little interest to the painting that God has painted for us today. Another blessing in this great life. So go to a baseball game. You know, most of my games are at the Northwest Arkansas Naturals here at Arvis Park in Springdale, where I live and work. But baseball is everywhere. So somewhere near you, there's a university or professional team or high school team or a little league team playing baseball that you can go and watch for free or for a reasonable price. Especially if you just do it once in a while, like I tend to do. Got to get a little bit of baseball every summer. That's just, you know, I've often said I feel like I'm in the summer of my life. So even when it's not summer, I'm going to pretend it's summer. So, you know, we've talked about life of abundance, what that's about. You know, gave you a little diet report and talked about, you know, the idea that everybody's good, really. Essentially, most people are good. And most people are trying to be good in the way that they understand good. So keep that in mind and, you know, go ahead and trust people. Have an attitude of abundance because of understanding what you have, not misunderstanding what you have. And we talked about the great game of baseball, Boys of Summer. Go check it out. So that's all we got today. I've got a fever, and the only cure for it is fitness, diet, and medicine of a very high caliber. And that's what I'm going for. Go out and love your life, and I'll see you next time. This is the Padua Podcast Network. PaduaMedia.com.